Now, there's a tragedy of female infanticide in China. And the one thing I want to try and debunk, or not try, I will debunk, is this idea that people just don't like girls, or they favor boys over girls just for the fact that they're boys. And that is not true. Well, we'll read a little bit about it. The history of China has a history of female infanticide, spanning 2,000 years worldwide. Infanticides have been practiced since antiquity for the purpose of population control. I'm not quite sure how overly populated China was 2,000 years ago. But what it really is that the boys have a use. Because all you guys know that in those times, and you don't have to go very far back, you probably only need to go 100 years or so. And you know that the boys, even today, are expected to look after their parents. So even in modern day, the boys are an investment. And the same thing is people want children to work on the farm and to be like what's that word? A militia in troubled times, right? Because the women, the mothers, they want it this way. You know, if the Huns are coming across the hills, and a mother can jump behind her grown son and say, "Do something, protect me," but the daughter is going to jump behind her mom and say, "Mom, protect me." And the mother can shame the son and say, "You're a man now. You're a grown man now. Do your duty." But she tries that with her daughter. "You're a grown woman now. Do your duty." Her daughter will say, "Yeah, I am, Mom. Now protect me. I'm younger and more important than you." God. And if you want the proof of it, well, here's this particular video, the Punic Wars, where they talk about Italy.
Whilst in Greece, new players entered the war on their enemy's side. Yet on each occasion, the Romans stubbornly refused to make any peace short of total victory.
This is about the Punic Wars, and this is what I want you to hear.
In particular, a severe famine seems to have resulted in many Latin cities expelling large amounts of young men, who would have formed roving bands of raiders throughout the region. For the next...
Yeah, you hear that? You see, the famine, they ditch their sons. They ditch their sons because the famine's different. You know, and the typical infanticide here, you know, the boys are still an investment. You know, a war, you need your sons. You know, hard labor, you need your sons. And if you could see that you're going to have a future and you're going to grow old together, you want your sons to look after you. But in this case, in a case of a famine, everything's very short term. In a famine, they'd say, "Oh, all the boys' greater strength and their fighting skills don't mean anything. And we may not live for them to take care of us." So they booted their sons out. By the way, it's not like the government came and booted these young men out. This is their families. This is mom and dad. You know, so even though this is a complete tragedy, that the simple fact is the preferences of the parents had nothing to do with just liking boys better. You know, it all depends on what the parents are going to gain from it. And this has happened through all out history. You know, times are tough. The son's getting like 14, 15, 16. And the father says, "You're a man now, son. See you around." By the way, the father doesn't sacrifice himself, does he? He doesn't say, oh, look, my son, we don't have enough food for all of us. So what I'll do, I'm grown up, I'm older than you, I'm getting old, I'm on my way out. You stay with mom and look after the kids, and I'll leave and starve to death. The father might say that if he's going on to get food or something like that. And then the son, of course, is there to fight. You know, when I come home and one of you is gone between you and your mother, it better be you. That's what he's saying when he says you're the man now, son. But the fact is, in this famine, there was nothing like that. The father wasn't going out to get some food or something. He just looked and said, okay, who's going to starve, me or this younger guy? Well, it's going to be this younger guy, even though he's probably more important to me in this time in history where there's wars and that going on, right? Because in the end, parents are just people and they think of themselves first and foremost. And again, here we are again. Look, China's birth control policy. This rugged hardpan of North China, known for poverty and coal, Zhang Yi had but two frail daughters to help scratch out a living. That's it, in a nutshell. This guy wanted hardy sons to do manual labor. Boys do not have privilege. Men do not have privilege. Understand? At best, boys and men can be useful, and then they might get some scraps over the girls, or they get, preference, their existence preference. But once all this, hardship disappears, when the war is gone, and the machines take over, that guys are treated like garbage. And that's about all I need to say about this. Thank you.